G'day guys, if you've got an iPhone and you've taken a photo and you want to know how big is that file size of that photo, or you want to know what were my settings when I took that photo. If you've got an iPhone, you know it's an absolute pain to find this out. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. G'day guys, Shane Mostyn here. I do 2 videos every week all about mobile photography or small lens photography. We're talking about mobile phones, iPads, that sort of things, and GoPros. So if you're into that sort of thing, subscribe to the channel and I'll see you 2 times every week. Let's get into it. So how big is the file of my photo? It is one of the most commonly asked technical questions on all of the different social media platforms I belong on Facebook, on Reddit and so forth. How can I find out how big the file is of my photo? It really is one of those things. iPhones take great photos, but when it comes to this sort of information, they're kind of restricted. When you've got a regular camera, you can just hit the information button on the back of that camera and it's going to show you all the settings that you took that photo with. So as it stands, there's a few different ways that you can find how big that file is. One, you can transfer it straight over to the computer and right click on that photo, go to Get Info, and it's going to show you the size of the file of the photo. It's also going to show you the resolution of that photo. Another way you can do it while it's on your phone is forward that photo in an email. So pretend that you're about to set up an email to send off. When you go to attach the file, it's going to ask you large, small, medium, or the actual size. The actual size is the file size of that photo, but it doesn't give you all the information as far as resolution and that sort of thing. Another way to check the file size, the resolution and so forth is with mobile Lightroom or Lightroom Mobile. You can go into the information tab there and you can see the resolution, the file size, or all the settings, aperture, shutter speed, ISO, right there at the bottom. All these ways certainly work and you can do it right now, but there is an easier way. What we're going to do is head over to the App Store and we're going to search for Photo Investigator. So what is Photo Investigator? It does what it's named. It investigates your photo. It's going to tell us the file size, it's going to tell us the resolution, the date you took it, all the interesting metadata on that photo. This is especially true if you're shooting with a pro type camera app like Moment, ProCam, Halide, those sorts of camera apps. It's really hard to find out that information later on. Let's look at this app. First off, you're going to open a file with the icon down the bottom left hand corner there. Open up a file or a photo, and the first tab across is going to give you the basic information. It's going to tell you the file size, the resolution, and the format that the photo's in. So unless you're someone who hasn't turned on your location services for different apps, it's going to give you the GPS coordinates or the location on a map of where you took that photo. This is really handy for photos like this one here. This was taken in New Zealand. It's a cracker photo. When I took this photo, it's really well off the beaten track. Luckily for me, I had my GPS turned on my phone. I can go back to that sucker anytime I want to and take a photo. The next one across is a clock, and guess what's in there? Yeah, it's the time. The next one across is where all of your metadata is. And in here is where you're going to find the shutter speed, the ISO, the white balance, all those cool aperture settings and things like that. All those settings that are really going to help when you want to tell someone or explain to someone what your settings were when you took that photo. Or when you go back to a location that you've been to previously, you just can't replicate that photo. Go and have a look at the original photo that you took and you can see all the settings that you used way back then. There's a couple of scenarios you need to be mindful of though. What happens with these photos when we start messing with them on the phone? So the first photo we'll look at here is the original photo out of the camera, the HEIC format, the high efficiency image format that Apple uses, and we can see the file size there, and that's it. It's pure as the driven snow. It's simple as simple can be. We've done nothing to this photo. Now let's have a look at this photo. I've adjusted this photo, I've edited this photo in Snapseed. Look at the difference in the file size. It is significant, it matters. You can go across the other tab here and you can see that we've edited it in Snapseed with the version of Snapseed that we edited it in. When you start playing with other apps like Skylab, like Photoshop Camera, and we adjust all the sky and stuff, well, it does even more things to the metadata on that image. So I think by this point it's no longer a photo, it's more of an image. We've cheated a bit, We'll have a look at the file size of this one compared to Snapseed and then compared to the original file. So guys, if you're into Snapseed, editing photos in Snapseed, check out that playlist there. There's a few videos in there I'll show you all about editing with Snapseed, and this one down here is all about the Photoshop camera. Alright guys, I'll see you next week.